Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday. That means it's Friday Food Fest, and we had some really great meals this week, so I really hope you enjoy. So for the first meal, I did roasted Cornish hens, and I just basted them in 1 stick of butter that was softened. Tony's, garlic powder, sea salt, and crushed black pepper. And just took it and just basted all of the little chickens all over the place, inside and out, inside the skin, and put them in this roaster. The roaster is what makes this meal, because while it's cooking, it's not sitting in all of the chicken juices, and all of the sides get nice and crispy, and it's absolutely delicious. I cooked it at all of them at 375 for about an hour and a half, and every 10 to 15 minutes I would go back and baste them with some more of the butter concoction, and they were absolutely delicious. For sides, I just did the tomato pasta that I got in one of my hauls, and opened up a couple of cans of green beans, and that was dinner for the night. The next meal, we did a small family crawfish boil, and these are all the ingredients that my husband uses. He does amazing at crawfish. I love his recipe, so we just wanted to share how we do our own family crawfish. My husband takes 4 large white onions and just quarters them, and he picked up a package of the pre-peeled garlic, and he used 4 of the bags for that for our crawfish boil. He takes 4 to 5 lemons and just slices them in half, and that's what he uses in the seasonings. He takes 2 bottles of the Tabasco sauce, and I asked him about vinegar, and he said that the Tabasco sauce has plenty of vinegar in it, so he uses 2 bottles of that. If you can't tell, we're a Snap-on family. And this is another important step, is the butter. He takes 2 sticks of butter. This really helps make the whole seasonings creamier, and also helps with the peeling of the crawfish. So don't skip out on that step with the butter. And the next thing is red cayenne pepper. He takes a good half of the bottle of this and just pours it in there. If you want it spicier, do the whole thing. Less spicier, do half. Now that we have all of the seasonings in, he's going to take all the lemons and squeeze them in there, and just shove all of the garlic and the onions, lemons, and everything. And once that is completed, he's going to let everything come up to a full-on boil. And while he's letting everything come up to a boil, he's going to start purging the crawfish. The boys had fun doing this part. It's so important to purge your crawfish. I know some people don't purge their crawfish, but as you can see with all the water in there, it gets really dirty and really yucky. So clean your crawfish. Look at that. It's disgusting. Clean them. Now he has everything up to a raging boil. We're gonna put in 2 bags of little red potatoes, not the big ones, the little ones. They seem to soak up most of the seasonings the best. Playing with their food, I don't know why. Now this might be hard for some people to watch, but this is part of the process. Putting the crawfish in the pot to cook them. Okay, now they've been boiling for about 5 minutes. It doesn't take long to actually cook them. And once they're all cooked, about 5 minutes, we put in 3 bags of ice. This stops the cooking process. And we put in the corn as well. I missed the part where he put the corn in. Sorry about that. Corn first, then the 3 bags of ice, and just gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes. That's how long we let it sit, for 30 minutes. And look at the color. So beautiful. The longer you let them sit, the more flavorful they will be. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Love this stuff. And dinner is served. I can't tell you how good this recipe is. It is delicious. We had a little bit of leftovers, so etouffee is coming your way. Next meal we had is an Italian soup. It's called Zuppa Toscana. I can never pronounce that right. I've been making this for years now. You take, I wanna say I did 8 strips of thick bacon, 1 pound of Italian sausage, ground Italian sausage. I chose hot Italian sausage, but you can use mild as well. 1 chopped yellow sweet onion. I do believe they're called Vidalia onions. You just let the onion and 1 tablespoon of butter cook about 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be browned or anything like that. And then once that's done, basically kind of translucent, there we go. I take 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, give it a good swirl, and then put in 3 cups of water and 3 cubes of chicken bouillon and 1 large box of chicken broth. Once that comes to a boil, put in your potatoes. Boil, let everything come back up to a boil, and whenever your potatoes are almost done, not all the way done, put in your heavy cream. I have 1 16-ounce container of heavy whipping cream. You can do milk, you can do half and half, whatever you have in your refrigerator, it doesn't matter. I just feel like the heavy whipping cream makes it much better. 1 pound of the sausage goes in right after you put in the heavy whipping cream. And then you let everything come back up to a boil. And once you have everything come up to a boil, you put in your Parmesan cheese. I do about 3 tablespoons of Parm. I don't put any extra salt in here because the Parmesan cheese has plenty of salt in it, as well as the chicken bouillon. Now the fennel is very important in this recipe. If you skip out on the fennel, it's not gonna taste just like the one in Olive Garden. This is the key to this whole recipe, is that fennel. So don't skip out on the fennel. It's delicious. Now everything coming back up to a boil, I put in crushed red pepper. You can skip out on this. We like things spicy in my house. Now that I've got my soup getting back up to a boil, I'm gonna put in 4 cups of kale. I just tear it up with my hands. You can chop it up if you want to. You don't want little tiny minced pieces of kale. You want it pretty leafy for your soup, and that's what I do. Now that everything is nice and cooked, I'm going to be putting it in a bowl and topping it with the crispy bacon that I had made for this, and that was dinner. And our last meal is chicken wings. I did 3 packages of these chicken wing drumettes, and I just seasoned them with black pepper, garlic powder, and sea salt, grilled them up. I want to say it took me about 45 minutes because somebody ran out of pellets for the pellet smoker, but I get them nice and crispy. I take 2 bottles of my preferred chicken wing sauce, which is the HEB brand, give them a good stir, and then I forgot to insert the process, sorry about that, of the chicken wings going into the oven. I just put them on a cookie sheet, put them in the oven for about 10 minutes, let all of that good yummy wing sauce get into the chicken, and then I take them back out and then just mix them back up with the rest of the chicken wing sauce. I love doing that. My husband is the one that got me into putting them in the oven and then taking them out, and it is a difference. And then just a side of veggies. I did grill up those stuffed Italian mushrooms that I showed in my grocery haul with the ranch dressing, and that was dinner. I hope everybody enjoyed this week's worth of meals. I know I'm excited about next week. I've got some really great meals coming up next week as well. Have a great one.